Now that I've got all my settings in and the patient is ventilating, I see that there's nothing alarming, then I can do my ventilator check. Now in real life in the hospital, you'll be doing these either every 2 hours or every 4 hours, depending on the policy of the hospital you work at. And when you do them, you'll be doing them in the patient's room, not with the chart. The whole idea of doing a ventilator check is that you're documenting what settings are on the ventilator for a medical record. So if you come in and you copy what's on the board, that's not doing a ventilator check. So that would be unacceptable.
Right.
So I have to see that you're looking at the actual machine and not at what's written on the board.
Okay.
Okay, so here's how we go. We get our vent sheet. First we look at our time, and our time has to be documented in military time. So this would be 11:25. And then it says mode, so I look here at my mode. It's on SIMV. So you could either write SI or SIMV, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows what it means. Then your FiO2, I hit my FiO2 button, and I'm on 65%. So you could do that. You don't need to put the percent sign. Everybody, again, knows what that is. Our PEEP is 0. Our set rate. Now our set is everything down here again. Our readouts are everything up here. So our set rate would be the one down here, and it's 10 breaths a minute. And then it says set tidal volume. Again, that would be set, which is everything is down the bottom. So our set tidal volume is 400. PSV means pressure support. So it's asking me how much pressure support is in the ventilator. So I can find that by hitting my +10 key, enter, and it says pressure support of 10. So I would put 10. Now PIP is peak inspiratory pressure, which also means peak airway pressure. So up here, our peak airway pressure, I could round that off. It's 8.9. I could round it off to 9. Okay. My mean airway pressure is next. That's right next to the peak airway pressure. The mean airway pressure is 1.6. So I round that off to 2. Okay, total respiratory rate. Now that's not the set rate, that's the total rate. So it would be the one up top. And it's 10. Our minute volume, I just look and see what our minute volume reading is. It's 3 liters. And now it wants IE ratio. So up here, our IE ratio is 1 to 4.3 or 1 to 4. So you just go 1, 4. Vmax stands for peak flow, peak inspiratory flow. This little V dot either means minute volume or it means flow. Could mean both. So when you see the max under it, you know it means flow. So peak flow is set at 40 liters a minute. Now it says spontaneous tidal volume. Patient is a dummy, so we know he's not breathing spontaneously. But if he was, if this was an actual patient, what you would do is you'd go up here and hit your tidal volume button, and you're looking at the returns, and as they come back, they're always about the same. Mandatory breaths would be about the same, so this is about 310. If he was a real patient and took a spontaneous breath, it would probably be like 100. So you would see the drop. You would see the drop in volume, and this little red light under spontaneous would light up for a spontaneous breath.
Okay.
So that's what you would put here.
Since it's a dummy,
since he's a dummy, has no spontaneous breath, so we'll just put 0. So then it says expired tidal volume. So that means what's our exhaled tidal volume? It's 320. Now it wants my compliance. I can't do the compliance until I get a plateau pressure. So next step is to do that. So to get a plateau pressure, I have to go up here where it says plateau pressure, and I press that and I see there's nothing reading out. So that means I need to put in an inspiratory pause for that to show up. So I go down here on the settings under plateau and I set in 2 seconds. So I hit 2, enter. And now when the vent cycles, it will put an inspiratory pause in and give me a readout. Now I'm going to wait for the second or third readout because usually it goes up a little bit higher each time. Okay, so it's going to be 5. So I would put 5 under here for plateau pressure. Now I could do my compliance formula, which would be 320 divided by plateau pressure minus PEEP. We have no PEEP, so it's going to be 320 divided by 5. So
I was trying to do it in my head.
Me too, but I'm not a mathematician. Now you don't use a decimal, just put 320 and then divided by 5, and that gives us 64 for our compliance. So 64, that's our static compliance. Auto PEEP, there probably is on this, but this machine is old and it's hard to find, so we don't do it. Okay. On the newer machines, it'll just be a matter of reading it off of the screen. IPAP and EPAP, we'll just cross that out because we're not on BiPAP. Sensitivity trigger, that's asking you where your sensitivity is set. It's -2. And then I time and rise time, we don't do those because those are BiPAP functions also. Now at this section, it's asking us what our alarms are. So it says high pressure alarm. So go down to where you put your high pressure alarm and just read it off of here. So it's on 20. It'll be 20. And then the next one is low minute volume. So low minute volume is on 2 liters. And then high respiratory rate is on 20 breaths a minute. And then low end tidal volume is on 220. And then it says gas temperature. If this had a humidifier on it, it would read out here in this little window, but we're using an HME. So when you use an HME, you just write HME. And then SAT, you can make up whatever it is. Heart rate, you can make up whatever. Those things you don't really need to do. And just come out, and I would sign it. And then I would look again, make sure nothing's alarming. I've got a IE ratio alarm because I forgot to take my 2-second plateau off. So I go 0, enter. Now that'll go away.
So you can, if you forget to do it at the beginning part, you can come back and...
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. As long as you catch it, I don't matter. You know, to me, it doesn't matter that if you catch it right away or...
Okay.
See, that alarm was a silent alarm. It wasn't ringing. If it was ringing, you would
know it right away.
Right away.
Right.
So, okay, so everything is done. Everything's going well. There's no alarms. The 2-second pause is off. I would say now I need to order a stat chest x-ray for ET tube placement, and in 30 minutes we need to get an ABG. And
all right.
That's the end of the procedure.
Thanks.